We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level, fast, but fair playing field.
Just as we knew from the very beginning, President Trump was not kidding around when he said on the campaign trail that he was going to impose tariffs on countries that are unfairly doing business with the United States. And this weekend, they found out just how serious he was. Before we get into all the chaos, my name is Clayton Keirns from TrendingPolitics.com. Please make sure to do three things. Number one, please make sure to like this video so that it gets spread in the algorithm. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and make sure to turn on the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we release new videos, because we're coming out with videos every single day. We're keeping you up to date on all of the interesting news stories of the day. So let's get right into it. So, from the very beginning, Democrats have always fear-mongered about tariffs, saying that it's going to absolutely destroy the country, even though our economy and country was not destroyed during Trump's first administration. Trump had these tariff wars with other countries before, and our economy was going completely fine up until COVID happened. So, here's a story in a few parts. Number one, this is on Saturday. Now, on Friday, Trump warned that, hey, these are coming on Saturday, and here's what he said. Saturday morning. Today, I have implemented a 25% tariff on imports from Mexico and Canada, 10% on Canadian energy, and a 10% additional tariff on China. This was done through the International Emergency Economic Powers Act because of the major threat of illegal aliens and deadly drugs killing our citizens, including fentanyl. We need to protect Americans, and it is my duty as president to ensure the safety of all. I made a promise on my campaign to stop the flood of illegal aliens and drugs from pouring across our border, and Americans overwhelmingly voted in favor of it. And this is 100% true, 100% accurate. And then what happened immediately is all of these countries started saying, well, hey, we are going to put retaliatory tariffs on you now, on the United States. Which brings up a very good point. If tariffs only hurt the country who places them, then why did they put tariffs on the U.S. as retaliation? See, all these people are fear-mongering and saying, oh my gosh, no, it has to be free trade. Free trade is the only way. But as soon as these countries got hit with tariffs, they turned around and put tariffs on us. So if it was going to hurt them so much, just like Democrats keep saying, then why did they impose counter tariffs? Now, just as always, President Trump used this as leverage. And what happened this morning on Monday morning? Mexico caved. They bent the knee to Donald J. Trump. And honestly, I kind of feel bad for them. Actually, I don't feel bad for them at all. But how must it feel to know that there's nothing you can do to stop this human force in nature, which is President Trump? How does it feel to know that you're just going to get dog-walked in every negotiation you step into? This just happened a couple hours ago. I just spoke with President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico. It was a very friendly conversation wherein she agreed to immediately supply 10,000 Mexican soldiers on the border separating Mexico and the United States. These soldiers will specifically be designated to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal immigrants into our country. We further agreed to immediately pause the anticipated tariffs for 1 month period, during which we will have negotiations headed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Treasury, and yada, yada, yada. Then he says, I look forward to participating in those negotiations with President Sheinbaum as we attempt to achieve a deal between our two countries. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is called the art of the deal. This is how it is done. You see, Democrats have no concept of how to negotiate because they don't do anything outside the box. It's just always the status quo. But President Trump goes to places that no other politician goes. And he makes his presence felt among all of these nations. And it's kind of a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see that Trump's negotiation strategies work time and time and time again. We saw a couple weeks ago with Colombia, or last week with Colombia. They wouldn't accept a deportation flight, and Trump said, okay, and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with these crazy sanctions, tariffs, and they immediately caved. And this is what keeps happening over and over. Now, the market today was definitely volatile. It just closed 10 minutes ago. I'm not exactly sure where it closed out, but it started out very, very blood red this morning, and then it started recovering once Mexico announced that they were caving to Trump's tariffs. And this is what Trump said last night, and I resonate with this so much. He says, we may have some short-term pain, but people can understand that. The United States have been ripped off by every country, and we are going to change that. Will tariffs cause a short-term hustle and bustle in the market? Will it cause some volatility? Yes, that's what it did last time. But what always happened during the Trump stock market? It kept going up over time. This is how diamonds are created, the old adage goes. They are created with pressure. And sometimes you have to pressure these other countries. Sometimes you have to do something that's not always, super easy in order to get what you want. So let's hear what Trump has to say here.
No, I'm not concerned. We may have short-term some little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We're going to change it fast. We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country.
I think that was perfectly said. Trump is not sitting here trying to sell a dream that everything is just going to be perfect and easy if we're imposing tariffs. No, there will be a little bit of a short-term pain. But the bottom line is that these tariffs are going to hurt these other countries far worse than they're going to hurt us. And that's where Trump has all the leverage. Now, the Mexican president wasn't the only one to cave. The other day when Marco Rubio visited Panama, they also caved because the United States wants more fair entry into the Panama Canal. And it looks like we're taking steps to get there. So this is as of this morning, or as of last night. Breaking, Panama agrees to facilitate and offer free passage to the U.S. Navy ships through the Panama Canal following the visit from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and agrees to end China's Panama Canal deal and to leave from China's 2017 Belt and Road Initiative. So once again, this is a pattern. The United States is getting ripped off in one area. Trump sees it, knows where to put the leverage, and he hits them where it hurts, and he sends his attack dogs to go talk and negotiate with them, and then this is the kind of stuff that happens. So here's the president of Panama. I'm not going to watch the whole video here with you, but we'll watch a few seconds of it, and this is the video where he caved. And again, this is in Spanish, but the translation is there on the video.
El memorándum de entendimiento del año 2017 sobre la ruta de la seda de Belt and Road Initiative no será renovado por mi gobierno. Eso es así. Vamos a estudiar la posibilidad de si se puede terminar antes o no, pero creo que le toca en 1 o 2 años la renovación, porque es cada 3. Así que esa iniciativa que se firmó, cuando se firmó, en el tiempo que se firmó, no será renovada por mi gobierno.
So, not only are they going to not renew it, but they're going to try to get out of it even earlier. And why is that? That is because the art of the deal and President Donald J. Trump. No other reason. This wasn't happening any other way except through Trump. So again, Trump knows this game. He knows how to apply leverage, and that's what Ben Shapiro says here perfectly. This is specifically talking about Mexico. He says, nobody applies leverage like Trump. Nobody. I am an advocate of free trade on a principled level when it doesn't threaten key national security or national industries and national security, which is why we should tariff China. In a vacuum, trade wars are not good or easy to win. But Trump saying he likes tariffs in order to demonstrate commitment in the game of chicken. You want to do a trade war? Fine, I love trade wars. Let's play. And thus prying a massive concession from the Mexican government on that basis is a masterful use of economic leverage. And Matt Walsh says the left spent all weekend panicking that Trump's tariffs on Mexico would somehow cripple the United States, as if we couldn't easily win a trade war with that country. Now Mexico has already caved and given Trump exactly what he wants. It took less than 2 days. Will any of the people who freaked out apologize to Trump and admit they were wrong? Of course, I know the answer to that. And once again, this is why the American people voted for Trump, is to make deals like this. And again, he's been talking like this forever. This is a video from 13 years ago, and I want you to see how Trump was talking about tariffs then, and it's the same guy. Listen to what he's saying.
And I said, somebody said, well, what would you do? What can you do? So easy. I drop a 25% tax on China. And you know, I said to somebody that it's really the messenger. The messenger is important. I could have one man say, we're going to tax you 25%. And I could say another, listen, you motherfuckers, we're going to tax you 25%.
And that's why you don't mess with Trump, because that is how a deal maker talks. And J.D. Vance also chimed in on Mexico caving and making fun of all the liberals who were fear-mongering about Trump's tariffs. Watch this quick video.
Actually, I was in the air. I talked to the president very briefly about this. He spoke with the president of Mexico this morning, and the president of Mexico committed to putting 10,000 additional Mexican troops on that southern border, our southern border, of course, the Mexicans' northern border, to take law enforcement more seriously, to go after those Mexican drug cartels a little bit more aggressively. So for literally 3 days, I heard the far left in this country say that these tariffs would make Americans' lives worse off. And what actually happened is the Mexican government was so afraid of the tariffs that they actually are taking their border enforcement and their anti-cartel activity more seriously. That is not a pathway to making Americans worse off. That's a pathway to making Americans better off. Now,
you can't say it any better than that. I mean, I think it's amazing that they caved so quickly. I mean, we kind of knew they were going to cave, but they didn't put up that much of a fight. I was telling some of my friends earlier, because I personally am an investor in the stock market and I like buying stocks. And you know, if the stock market is red on a given day, I like to buy some stocks. But then the stock market started rising again right after Mexico caved, and I was like, hey, can you guys like at least give us a couple days so we can like build out some of our stock market positions? But that's not even happening. This is just, Trump is going scorched earth, and I don't know. He said that we would win so much that we would get tired of winning, that we would beg him, Mr. President, please, please stop winning. We can't take all the winning. I don't think any of us are tired quite yet, and this is going to be a really fun journey. So if you like this video, please make sure to like, comment below with what you think about Trump's absolute masterclass of negotiation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and make sure to turn on notifications, because we're coming out with videos every single day. I'll be talking to you soon.